Hey guys, it's Tim. I'm in the middle of transferring like a really big video file, and so I've got a little time to kill. Thought I'd spend a few minutes putting together another tutorial that hopefully is going to help you out in the class that I am teaching up at the college. And so the last video that we were looking at, we basically set up a project with a document class, and we created a project in Flash Develop. And so maybe we can do just a quick little review of that. So I have Flash open right now, and you can see that we are making use of the class field right here. And we've typed in here project document. Now that's the name of our document class. If you remember, document class is the first class that we've created. It's generally the first class of any project you're going to do inside of Flash where you're using this method of coding externally. Coding externally means that you're keeping your code separate from the binary files that you have, and the binaries are going to be kept inside of the FLA document. Now, since we are coding outside of the FLA, that means that we can actually make use of some proper coding tools. Now, the tool that we are using is freely available for download. It's called Flash Develop. The only downside possibly for someone is that it's not really made for use on a Mac because it uses .NET framework, but there are ways to make it work on a Mac, and it is free and it's pretty good, so I'd suggest giving it a try. So I'm going to open up the Flash Develop project that I'm working in, and if you go into the folder that you set up last time around, then you're going to see right here a couple of different files, and one is called document example, and that is your Flash Develop project. Now, one of the nice things with Flash Develop that makes it very flexible to work in is that you can just double click any Flash Develop project and it'll automatically open up for you. It's going to actually remember what you were working in and bring that up for you, so you don't have to spend a lot of time looking around for files. Excuse me. Hang on a second, I'm going to drink of water here. My voice is fading. Be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. So we have our Flash Develop project open, and one of the nice things in Flash Develop and many code editors is that you get a project window here. And inside of the project window, you're going to be able to see all kinds of things about the project that you are working in. So in this case, you can see here's our FLA, and you know, there are more ways than one that you can compile a SWF, but since the FLA is the way that we're most familiar with, I think it'd probably be good if we stick with that for now. A little later on, I'm going to show you ways that you can compile your SWFs without even using Flash, and that's pretty awesome. But for now, we'll stick with the FLA. So I'm going to open up the project document right here, and that is our document class. That's the term that we've been applying to this. So just to test your memory, can you remember what happens when you go to compile the Flash file associated with this document class? I'll help you out with that one. Alright, let's take a look at the Flash again. We can see that in the class field here, we've declared a document class called project document. What that means is that Flash, when it goes looking for its document class, is going to look for project document.as, the actual text file. If we shrink the Flash down again, we can see that project document.as is the name of our document, and it's sitting in the same directory with the Flash file, so yes, Flash will find it. But it doesn't end there. The next thing it's going to do is it's going to drill down inside and find the name of the class, which should also be project document. Well, is that the case in our code here? Yes, it is. Now, what do we mean when we say that Flash is going to drill down inside of the text file? Well, you see these curly braces here? These represent the concept of scope. Classes in AS3 must always go inside of a package. Don't worry too much at this point about what that means. Essentially, the package has to wrap up everything about the class. The way that it does that is with an opening and closing curly brace, so that everything inside of here is said to be inside of the package. You will notice that there are actually more opening and closing curly braces here. And a really nice feature of Flash Develop and other code editors is that when you click beside a curly brace, it's going to show you what it thinks is the opening and closing brace. Now Flash is going to see the exact same thing. So when we say that Flash is going to drill down into the package, well, first of all, it's going to find the opening curly brace after the word package, and then it's going to jump inside the code that is inside there. Now at that point, it's going to look for the class name. Class name, project document, matches the name of the .as file, and so it once again is going to be able to drill inside the class now. So at this point, it's going to hop inside this opening curly brace here and look at all of the code that is inside of there. Now by default, Flash will look for what is called a constructor function. We're going to look a little bit more at what functions are in this episode here. But for now, suffice it to say that a function is just a little group of instructions. It's almost like a little mini program inside of your class file. So when Flash goes to compile, it's going to look by default for a function that has the same name as the class name. If it finds one, it's going to execute the code that is inside of that. There is absolutely no way that you can stop it from doing that. So that was kind of the gist of compiling and what happens there. And we covered that in the last recording that I did. Now, we also touched on one more concept a little bit. We touched on the concept of extension or inheritance. Now, this is one of the key concepts of object-oriented programming. How would you explain the idea of inheritance? Well, essentially, inheritance means that one object can inherit something from another. So think of it in more common terms. For instance, if you were to say inherit something from a relative, they leave their estate to you, or they leave maybe their vehicle to you, something like that. Basically, it means that you are receiving from them something that they accumulated over their lifetime, and then it's up to you you can use it as you see fit. It's not such a different thing when you talk about inheritance in code. Inheritance in code means that the object that is inheriting from another gains the abilities of that first object, the parent object this is called. Think of it this way. Your hand inherits from your arm. Where your arm goes, your hand goes as well. The power and force that your arm has is inherited by your hand. Now we've actually already created an example of inheritance inside of our document class. If you see here, the project document is said to extend movie clip. So in other words, the project document is going to receive and be able to use the properties and methods of a movie clip.